Hey y'all, how's it going? Growing up, I have heard a lot of platitudes, just nonsense that keeps getting repeated over and over again, especially here in the People's Republic of Maryland, which is one of the most left-wing states in the entire country. I figured it would be good for me to just let off some steam, so to speak, and talk about some of the worst things that liberals say. Worst here meaning most illogical. I'm not necessarily going to argue with the beliefs themselves, just with liberals' actual arguments, meaning that I could even agree with their conclusion, but think that their reasoning is incredibly flawed. Without any further delay, here we go. The first one is just a general knock on conservatives made by liberals, and that is calling them morality police, or saying that the government should not be legislating morality. Now, I am personally an anarcho-capitalist, so I don't think the government should be doing anything, but if you actually believe in government, is that not the explicit purpose? How is punishing theft and assault any less legislation of morality? What they really mean by this is that they don't think something is immoral, which is all well and good, but they really should just explicitly say that. Obviously, I want to see things that I think are immoral punished. Now, for a specific example, the next one I hear a lot is with regards to abortion, and that is, as you see on the screen, you don't have to like abortion, but don't force your beliefs onto others. I shouldn't even have to preface it this way, but I will just say that I personally am not just pro-choice, but pro-abortion. I think abortion is extremely important, and there are times even where somebody should be chastised for keeping a baby. Nevertheless, there are people out there who believe that abortion is murder, which is why it's stupid if your goal is to convince somebody to become pro-choice to tell them to just keep that to themselves. If I thought that abortion were murder, then I would absolutely want it banned. Telling somebody who thinks it's murder to just let other people choose, it's like saying, it's cool and all that you think assault is wrong, but don't force your beliefs onto others. Convince people that abortion isn't murder, not that they should ignore their own conscience. Just a dog shit expression. Again on abortion, we don't like abortion either, but we know people are going to get them, so we just want to make it so that they can do so safely. I have no idea why liberals have such terrible arguments when it comes to abortion. But first, no law stops everything, but I doubt you would say we should legalize arson because it will happen whether it's illegal or not. The idea is to discourage the behavior and seek retribution against those who committed an immoral action. Again, if somebody thinks abortion is murder and wants it banned, obviously nobody is under the delusion that abortion would never happen again once being banned. But the frequency of it would sharply decrease. Of course, some liberal in the audience is thinking the same thing about when conservatives or libertarians claim that criminals will still get guns, which is not the same at all, but I'll make an entire series of videos later on guns. But I digress. The second part of this argument, that they just want to make sure a person can do it safely, makes no sense whatsoever. Why would you want to make sure a bad person is able to do bad things safely? You should actually even want their safety to be in jeopardy. Again, liberals, keep in mind that you are arguing with people who believe abortion to be murder, which is one of the single most heinous actions a human can perform. We just want to make sure murderers can kill innocent people safely. Feel the burn! Sorry, I'm going to try to limit this video to discussions of the issues themselves, without reference to any particular candidate or politician, but this is just such a stupid slogan. It makes it sound like you have an STD or something, which I guess is actually not a bad comparison, so maybe it's an alright slogan. Ad hominem, ad hominem. Liberals just love to name drop logical fallacies to show off how smart they are, even though they really don't always understand what they mean. I very often get into debates with liberals online, and after a certain point where I just get exhausted, I call them an idiot or something, often resulting in them going, nice ad hominem. Bitch, that is not a fucking ad hominem. An ad hominem is when I discredit an argument on the basis of the person saying it. In other words, if I said, your argument is invalid because you're retarded, that would be a logical fallacy. But your argument is invalid because of X, Y, and Z, and oh, by the way, you're retarded. That would not be a logical fallacy. Again, I never said your argument's invalidity hinged upon the fact that you're stupid, which is what I would have had to have done for it to be considered an ad hominem. It is not just a fancy word for an insult.
The USA is right-wing compared to every other first world country. The USA is the only country without insert socialist program here.
Okay, and for people who like to show off how smart they are, and I know some liberal right now is about to accuse me of attacking a straw man, so save yourself the energy and don't even bother typing your comment. They sure make a lot of appeals to popularity. If the USA were left of every other first world country, would you say then that we need to go right? Usually, after I call them out on this, they resort to an actual argument, albeit a shitty one, which is,
every other country with these socialist programs is happier than the USA.
okay, is every liberal a utilitarian now? I guess so, because from my point of view, the happiness that legislation X brings to a society is really immaterial in determining whether or not it is moral. I'm happy when I'm drunk. Does that mean I should be drunk all the time? I mean, come on. I have lowered inhibitions. I don't worry about much. Life is good. Come on, dude. You're the only one in the neighborhood who isn't drunk. Fuck Windows 8. I figure that that's enough for our first video. I just had to let off some steam. If people want to see it, I'll make a sequel, and, well, frankly, I'll probably make a sequel whether there is demand or not, but if you have any suggestions, feel free to let me know. Thanks for watching.